welcome to the 𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗹 magazine. Today's guest is a dynamic entrepreneur shaping the future of business technology and innovation. Through 𝗔𝗴𝗲, she is transforming the way organizations harness automation and intelligence to scale faster, smarter, and more efficiently. She's not just building a company, she's building a movement that empowers businesses to embrace the next wave of digital transformation. Please join me in welcoming one of the most influential business leaders making a difference in 2025, Ms. Aanchal Gupta, the founder of 𝗔𝗴𝗲. Aanchal, thank you so much for being with us here today and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So what early experiences or influences led you towards entrepreneurship?
Hi. So thanks very much for the question. So my career has always been in digital transformation. I get excited by technology coupled with business. As a kid, I was strong at maths and business awareness. And I studied computer science. So that's where the interest in business coupled with tech comes in. I've tried to start business at every step in life. When I was getting out of my undergrad, when I moved to Scotland, when I moved to Singapore, I took 6 months break. And every time I wanted to build something with tech, but enabling businesses. So if you look at my career, I started with McKinsey. I was driving digital transformations at large Fortune 100 companies. I've worked with companies like GE, Dow, Halliburton, all large industrial conglomerates, and then in cybersecurity for 6.5 years, building Cloudflare in Asia Pacific. So my career has spanned always in tech, building businesses and large B2B customers. What led to influencing and starting finally 𝗔𝗴𝗲 is the confidence of working with customers and seeing real problems that can be solved now with AI. Throughout my career, I have been very, very customer-centric, which led to building meaningful relationships with the customers and also understanding, what can drive value in the ecosystem, what are the high impact outcomes that customers look for. So that's pretty much what led to the entrepreneurial journey, what influenced me, when I started 𝗔𝗴𝗲. It's practically going through my career all again, but enabling businesses with AI.
That's amazing. I think it's been a very breakthrough journey for you, Aanchal. So congratulations on that. So what early experiences or influences led you towards entrepreneurship?
Hi. So thanks very much for the question. So my career has always been in digital transformation. I get excited by technology coupled with business. As a kid, I was strong at maths and business awareness. And I studied computer science. So that's where the interest in business coupled with tech comes in. I've tried to start business at every step in life. When I was getting out of my undergrad, when I moved to Scotland, when I moved to Singapore, I took 6 months break. And every time I wanted to build something with tech, but enabling businesses. So if you look at my career, I started with McKinsey. I was driving digital transformations at large Fortune 100 companies. I've worked with companies like GE, Dow, Halliburton, all large industrial conglomerates, and then in cybersecurity for 6.5 years, building Cloudflare in Asia Pacific. So my career has spanned always in tech, building businesses and large B2B customers. What led to influencing and starting finally 𝗔𝗴𝗲 is the confidence of working with customers and seeing real problems that can be solved now with AI. Throughout my career, I have been very, very customer-centric, which led to building meaningful relationships with the customers and also understanding, what can drive value in the ecosystem, what are the high impact outcomes that customers look for. So that's pretty much what led to the entrepreneurial journey, what influenced me, when I started 𝗔𝗴𝗲. It's practically going through my career all again, but enabling businesses with AI.
That's amazing. I think it's been a very breakthrough journey for you, Aanchal. So congratulations on that. So what early experiences or influences led you towards entrepreneurship?
Hi. So thanks very much for the question. So my career has always been in digital transformation. I get excited by technology coupled with business. As a kid, I was strong at maths and business awareness. And I studied computer science. So that's where the interest in business coupled with tech comes in. I've tried to start business at every step in life. When I was getting out of my undergrad, when I moved to Scotland, when I moved to Singapore, I took 6 months break. And every time I wanted to build something with tech, but enabling businesses. So if you look at my career, I started with McKinsey. I was driving digital transformations at large Fortune 100 companies. I've worked with companies like GE, Dow, Halliburton, all large industrial conglomerates. And then in cybersecurity for 6.5 years, building Cloudflare in Asia Pacific. So my career has spanned always in tech, building businesses and large B2B customers. What led to influencing and starting finally Agent Stack is the confidence of working with customers and seeing real problems that can be solved now with AI. Throughout my career, I have been very, very customer centric, which led to building meaningful relationships with the customers and also understanding, what can drive value in the ecosystem, what are the high impact outcomes that customers look for. So that's pretty much what led to the entrepreneurial journey, what influenced me, when I started Agent Stack. It's practically going through my career all again, but enabling businesses with AI.
That's amazing. I think it's been a very breakthrough journey for you, Aanchal. So congratulations on that. Building in tech, it often requires a lot of resilience and courage. So what inner strengths or habits have helped you navigate challenges in your journey?
Yeah, so see, it's the origin where I come from. I do come from a very small town of India called 𝗃 in Rajasthan. And building in tech does require resiliency, which I have learned now after taking, a year and building it. I think it requires more resiliency when you are trying to bootstrap and building a team which basically is equally passionate for solving tougher problems, because the reality is that for large industrial companies, you cannot solve it alone. You need a large team. And to build a large team, you technically need large money as well, when they all are in good roles. So the tougher part was bringing the entire team together. And there were setbacks because even when the team came together, we haven't been entrepreneurs before taking a break. So for the last, it's been 8 months now. And for the last 8 months, we have tried a lot of things with these large customers, and everybody is excited by tougher problems. So everybody is working on, with the large customers. But I mean, they are where they are. They are going through their own transformation journey. So we tried a lot of things which were actually not resulting into, outcomes. And outcomes to us mean value to customer, for which they are willing to pay. So we have definitely generated a lot of value, but probably not asked for, money at the right time or charging for a consulting fees. So lot of setbacks. What allowed me to continue is also the team and the family. So I mean, this time that I've taken such a long break, it was like now there is no going back, and the team has come together. So even if a few people drop off and they go where they want, we should continue, because there was always a team which was like, Aanchal, okay, continue, and things are moving. So every time something was not working, we were looking for next solution. So I think it's just the problem solving approach. When something is not working, then you're thinking, okay, how to solve it next. That's what keeps the team excited, and that's what is keeping us moving.
That's wonderful. And definitely, I think good talent is equal to the growth of the organization. So yeah, that's very insightful as well. So in your journey, like you mentioned, you have 16 years of experience. Who or what has been your greatest influence on your leadership style or your leadership mantra? Like, are there any mentors that you have? What are some lessons or philosophies that you carry on and hold very dear and near to you?
Okay, so I think one of the thing that I actually have missed the most is not having enough mentors, which I only realize now in the hindsight. I didn't know it earlier. Who has influenced the leadership style? I actually don't know. I mean, I love reading books. So Abdul Kalam Azad, Ratan Tata, Indra Nooyi. I've read their books. Indra Nooyi has been one of the role model because she was the only Indian who has been CEO of a global company. I always aspired to have a global career. Where that came from, I don't know. Probably because I used to watch a lot of business news and global politics. So it has been a combination of role models and watching other people career ladder through LinkedIn. For example, I've worked at LinkedIn before on how to navigate your career in order to, so for me, it has always been about solving tougher problem and then tougher problem and then tougher problem. It has never been like a planned career of this is what I want. It was looking like what is the next thing to solve. I got mentors very late in life when I was with Cloudflare, and I had some amazing. So my mentors have always been my managers. Like I join and they quickly become mentors. But whether they were correct mentors, I don't know. Everyone has added something, and I've tried to learn from everyone that I work with. So, which also means the team that has reported to me. Again, your question on what defines the leadership skills. I don't think I've seen myself ever as a leader. I mean, it's purely like you're just building teams after teams after teams, and then team is just coming along. Now that I get questioned from people on what is your leadership style, I always say it's democracy, wherein whoever wants to do something, they do. But now that I've bootstrapped the business, I did realize that leadership doesn't work because you have to step in at points where, team is not in line. So I come in usually very late. I allow everyone to do what they want, but then if things go haywire, then I'll just come very strongly and be like, okay, this is how it needs to be done. And then things move. So that is how I have operated.
That's a very realistic answer right there. So, running a company, it requires both vision and discipline, right? So what does a typical day in your life look like? Like, are there any personal routines that keep you very sharp and grounded? So what is it like? What is a day in your life?
So I have been very fit since ever. So I do believe in regular fitness, weights training. I have started yoga and meditation lately. Meditation I've been doing since 8 months now. Morning routine, I wake up very, very early, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Take some time to just think through, sitting in the balcony. Then I go for a walk to the beach, almost an hour. I come back with walk and meditation. And then I start the work. My mornings are most productive. Normally would work through evening and then spend time with kids like 5 p.m. onwards. It has been a little abrupt and not as succinct as I would like it to be because the early days of bootstrapping has been tough. But normally I would spend like 5 to 8 p.m. with kids and then do a little bit of work, go back for a walk in the night again for 30 minutes to an hour, and then I sleep. So early to sleep, early to rise. That's how the schedule is.
That's great. I think, fitness is key, and we all need to be fit for, making last all of those tougher times and overcoming those tough times. So that's great. So, many founders, they actually talk a lot about purpose, right? Building with purpose and passion. So what is the deeper mission driving you at AgentStack?
So my answer to that question, I would say has never changed. So every company that I have joined, I joined for a vision and a mission. So, they all had great vision to it. It's always been about talent. So who is the talent internally, and also how do you build more talent with what you're doing? So the vision at AgentStack, what excites me the most is how much value we can create in the ecosystem. So value will get created when you solve tough problems for customers. They see the ROI, they pay for it, and that gets distributed, which is what I'm talking about, dollars. But that is not the most exciting part. The exciting part is ultimately how many jobs you can create. So some of the tenders that we are on, like one project needs 3,000 people. The bigger the project and the number of people that it can employ, that's where my excitement comes in. So many times, like people tell me, Aanchal, this is the deal. Like, why are you not doing it? The customer is asking. And it's just not exciting because it's like one person can go and do it. And I'm like, no, this is not exciting. I need something bigger so that it can employ a lot of people. So for me, the motivation is always like how much talent you can bring to the workforce, and also the right talent in the sense like those people are happy on what they're working on. So that is the purpose that I follow. And I think the way team has come together, everybody is like a very curious learner. The reason they are in the company is so that they get on to work on variety of projects. So you're like constantly learning. I'm also a constant learner. I'm still taking courses. And I also like to teach. So I would love to, take courses myself, increase my knowledge, and then continue to teach. So my purpose right now is really like how many jobs you can create and how many people you can actually enable and teach and mentor.
I think that's excellent, and it speaks volumes about you as an entrepreneur and as a very successful leader, future successful leader, if I may say so. So, when it comes to making tough decisions, or when you face tough decisions, what are some of the values and business logic that you approach them with?
Yeah, so see, I value honesty, ethics, and integrity the highest. And I think it's not a bit about valuing, it's like it's inherently in me. So when it comes to making tough business decisions, it's normally always about money versus ethics versus timing of, money coming in. For me, the simple way to decide is keep ethics and integrity to highest. In that ladder, be honest, but then also try to solve the problem the best I can. So I would not like to lose something purely, like every time because of sticking to ethics and integrity. But if I can drive change in the ecosystem, I am okay to be patient, still follow the path of ethics and integrity, but also, drive people along and actually still solve those problems, like still drive business somewhere, versus every time saying no. So it's a middle ground. Like I would not leave ethics, integrity, and honesty. That will always be first. And then it becomes an easy decision of saying no on many, many things as well.
That's superb. So, entrepreneurship, when you talk about entrepreneurship, it's filled with a lot of lows and highs. So how do you handle all of those setbacks and moments of self-doubt? And like for somebody who's very new, sometimes what happens is you cling to that, you can't move forward. So how do you keep moving forward?
So see, I don't think I have a perfect answer to it. Handling setbacks is really it depends on how much confidence you have in, firstly, your problem solving ability. So ultimately every setback is a problem to solve. So in order to continue to move forward, you have to continue to solve a problem. Like if there's a setback, then why that setback happened, and then how do you get past it and move to the next one and next one. So I think and there has been a lot of setbacks. An ideal way, in my view, is I'm a solo founder, and I think solo founder sucks because you don't have somebody at your same level. One, like having family backup and support really works. But again, coming to that part itself, it's the toughest part of being an Indian, wherein you're trying to start something and you belong to a job family, and family is not the one who would support you. So that has been my tougher challenge rather than actually profession. How do you then navigate is, again, as I talked about, like, one, have a team which is there to back and support. So someone will come and, continue to go ahead. The other thing is, if you have the belief in the, what you are building, then that's what keeps you along. So what we are building is not very novel. I mean, it's the problems that we have tried to solve earlier, and maybe all of that didn't get solved, but the confidence is that yes, we can do it now. And it's anyway not an easy thing that anybody else would be able to do. So then it's like you just keep moving forward. And yes, a lot of things that I wanted didn't come along as I wanted it, but then there's something else which looks exciting, and then you just keep moving.
That's awesome. So this brings me to the last question, Aanchal. If you could share one piece of advice with your younger self before starting out, what it could be?
So one, starting entrepreneurship early is way better than starting it late, because because of family. So when you have nothing to lose, it's very easy to start. But when you are a highly paid person and taking care of family with kids, it gets tougher. So start as early as possible. And second, I mean, having great mentors is a great thing. So as I said, I got the mentors very late. And the reason I got mentors very late is because I've always had this global outlook. So the only people I could relate to were like very, very experienced, who have had 30, 40 years of experience and global experience. I could see value when I was working with them. And it wasn't easy to get those mentors early on. But now there are so many online platforms and, channels to actually get those mentors. So the earlier you get, the better it is. Sometimes I realize like one sentence that they speak is like 7-8 years of problem solving that it would have taken me, because they have so much experience of living through it. So that's a huge unlock, which I would advise to anyone, like get mentors as early as possible.
Yeah, I think that's wise advice right there. And there's 2 takeaways that I've taken from this answer. One is that take the first step. That's important, and take it as early as possible. And networking is key. You need to network as soon as you can, reach out.
Correct. Because even if you take the step early on, the first thing which I called out, right? The ultimate confidence only comes when customer validates you, what you are building. And for that, you need network, and you need to know people who you can go to fast and ask, what I'm building, is that correct or not? And that was the biggest thing that gave the confidence. So that's very important.
That's really informative. So Aanchal, this has been a great, lovely conversation with you. So before we say our goodbyes, I'd just like to give you a small vote of thanks. So thank you so much for sharing your vision and your journey with us today. I think your stories prove that innovation comes alive with purpose, resilience, and when leadership aligns together. So for all of our CIO Women magazine viewers who are watching this interview, we will be back with such inspiring conversations highlighting leaders who are building a very smarter and a brighter and better future tomorrow. And you're exactly on the CIO Women magazine. So thank you so much. And Aanchal, thank you for your time and effort for this interview. And I wish you all the best for your career ahead, and have a great rest of the day as well.
Thanks, Apurva. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.